welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, how you doing today?
Doing great, Robbie. I had a good week so far. How about you?
Doing well. Good to be back with you on our original couch. On the last couple episodes,
Right.
we've been on a different couch, but tonight we're on our regular couch. So we're on the couch where it all began. It's sort of rotating couches.
And it's on Hump Day.
Hump Day, yes. So for tonight's episode, we thought it'd be fun to do is we got a couple of different topics we're going to discuss with you guys tonight. First one is we've got lists, each of us, of sort of college and high school and even middle school sports-related memories that really sort of stayed with us through the test of time. It really sort of stuck with us, and were extra special in our minds. So we've got sort of a 5 of those memories for tonight. And then at the end, we thought it'd be fun, since it is that time of year, to do some March Madness predictions.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So we'll look at some teams that we that we think are going to do well this year in March Madness, and at least attempt to give you some analysis on those teams.
We'll try. I'll try.
So to start off with, like I said, we're going to do a sort of a top 5 list of teams moments in either high school, college, or even back in some middle school that really just sort of stood out for us and really were special to us. So for this episode, I'm going to let Kyle go first. So Kyle, you take the reins here and give us your top 5 or 5 moments. By the way, quick disclaimer: these do not represent anybody else's opinions but ours. And so take it away.
Just from what we got. So first memory I gotta say is kind of a funny story. So this happened at a Babson hockey game back when I think we were seniors in high school. So
yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. So basically, he and I were on the sidelines, and the game was getting pretty intense. It was like the third period, not quarter period.
Yeah.
It was the third period. I was just about to say quarter. I keep thinking football. And at one point, the teams were getting pretty intense. The puck was kind of flying around, dinging around pipes like a pinball machine kind of thing. So basically, at one point, the puck went so high, it kind of did like a little ricochet off a couple of pipes, and it skidded right past my head.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so it skidded my head, and I didn't think much of it. Until I put my hand on my head, and I realized there was a bit of blood on my hand, and I was like, ooh, that's not good. Didn't hurt at all. I don't know. It was weird because it didn't hurt. But yeah, so I had to be taken down to I had to be taken down to like the back room, the athletic the trainer's room, ice and everything. So yeah, so that was kind of an interesting moment. Wasn't a good moment. It wasn't a bad moment. It was just more interesting.
Something memorable.
It was memorable.
Yeah.
It was interesting. So second memory, I'm gonna have to go a little bit off the charts here with this one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you can. I know because I know where you're going with this, and like I said, it can be still. It doesn't have to. It can be dipped a little bit into middle school.
Yeah.
As well.
So I wanted to explain to talk about my 7th grade basketball season. I thought it was a great season, and it was the only season where I was never really that great at basketball. But it was the one season where I actually received a trophy at the end. Our teams received the runner-up trophy. We didn't really win our section or.
You lost in the championship game.
Yeah, we lost the championship game, but we still got the runner-up trophy, and I thought it was kind of a cool thing. Still, it was the season. It was the one season where I really my heart was in it, and I think we had a great chemistry as a team. So I liked it. I thought it was 7th grade basketball. Thumbs up. Next, I'd like to talk about football, and I gotta say, I've had a great run in football. I played all 4 years in high school, and I just liked. I think my favorite memory was the first night game we played. as a sophomore in sophomore year, because that was a memorable year altogether. But the first night game, I thought I had such a great feeling. The crowd was all pumped up and everything, and the team, I forget which team we faced that night. I feel bad.
Oh, I remember who it was. It was oh jeez, right. Yes, it's on like the tip of my tongue right now. I think it might have been Milton.
Milton, yes.
I think it was Milton.
Yes, it was Milton, and it was just I just remember such a great feeling. Those were always my favorite games, the night games, just because it was intense and it was just Friday nights was like the perfect night, was the perfect time to play football. We had the lights and everything, it was so well lit up, and it was I just liked it. I just had a great experience. They had great hot dogs there too as well.
Yes.
And I just remember this funny moment where it's kind of a double moment there. I remember where the sprinklers just kind of randomly.
That was senior year.
Was that senior year?
Yeah, that was senior year when the sprinklers went off.
I thought that
that was senior year.
Oh, good lord! Wow.
I think we played Milton sophomore year too and won. Senior year we lost, and that was the year the sprinklers went off.
Okay, so this is kind of a double memory. Night game. First night game was great because of that, just the overall feeling, the intensity. And then, the moments where we were so... This was senior year. We played another team. I forget which one it was against. But, yeah, the sprinklers went off. Just
that was
randomly.
Milton again.
That was Milton again.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was... the sprinklers just randomly went off. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, why are the sprinklers going off?
It was after you guys scored a touchtown, too.
It was.
So it's like the sprinklers are celebrating.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, are they automated to... What are they doing? So they had like a mind of their own. It's like haunted sprinklers. Woof. It's not good. So, well, I'll count that as my third memory. So, First memory was the night game.
First memory was the hockey puck. Second memory was the night game.
Night game,
Third memory was
sprinklers
the
during the night game.
So two more. Two more.
So, I got to segue into track. High school track. I had let's see, I think it was junior year. My first year I did indoor track. We went to Reggie Lewis, and I've always been throwing in track. I've never really ran until one time they came up and asked me. They said, "Hey, do you want to do the 200?" I was like, "Okay." I've never done it before, but okay, that's fine. So yeah, I ran the 200 for the first time, and man, it was a great feeling actually.
Here's the big question: did you finish in any place other than last?
I beat a couple people, but
that's good.
Yeah.
At least
I was not fast.
No, that's good.
I'm
just poking fun.
I know, right? No, I'm dead serious. I was pretty bad. I'm gonna be straight on serious here, but it was fun. It was
It's
very
a little
intense.
bit scary that the only person they could think of to fill that event was you.
Well, they had other people from my high school, but I think they just had like some random spots. They were like, okay, last string. There you go, thrower, random thrower. Let's go. Okay, but it was fun.
Well, all right then.
It was intense. I liked it. It was great. And my last pick, I gotta say, was for college. Just all 3 years actually in general of track. Just because it was, I just had a great 3 years in college track. I made so many great, many of my really good friends are from there. I still keep in touch with a number of them, and I just had a great year overall, great 3 years, and I loved it. And the other thing was my uncle was the one time where a family member of mine was the head coach too. So that was very interesting. I thought my own uncle was the head track coach. So yeah,
cool.
So, that was a good year. Good 3 years.
Well,
I keep saying good year. 3 years. Okay.
That's all right. Well, thank you for sharing.
Well.
All right, so now I'm going to move on to my list. And these, again, are sort of a mixture of high school and college. First one is sort of a twofer. It is both from our high school teams. One's from, one part of this is, from our high school, from back when we were in high school, and another part is actually from this past Sunday. And that is our senior year in high school, the girls' basketball team at our high school made it to the state finals and actually won a state championship for the first time
Nice.
in the history of the program. And
I remember that.
Kyle and I got to go to one of the tournament games at the TD Garden,
TD Garden,
which was pretty
baby.
cool, and they won that.
That was
And
awesome.
then a couple of days later, I got to go see them play in the state championship game in Worcester, which they won as well. So that was really cool. I know one girl on the team had like a half court shot at like the end of one of the quarters. It was just awesome, and
Yeah.
so excited to have been a
They
part
had
of
their
it.
hearts in that.
Yeah,
that
and
year.
then-
I remember that.
And then actually this past Sunday, I had an opportunity to announce a game at the TD Garden because our high school's
Yep.
girls hockey team made the state championship game. They lost, but still, it was
Hey,
like
they
the
made it
fact
that far.
they made it that far first of all, and then to be able to like announce a game at the Garden as part of like our town's local TV station. It's like pretty cool because now I can always say like I announced a game in the Garden. And
Exactly.
It's like that's just a really cool experience. So
That's
it's
awesome.
something I'll never forget. So. Number 2, going to my college days, there was one game where we were playing our arch rivals at their gym. It was the second, and we beat them. It was the second year in a row that we had beaten them at their own gym. And also, it was the second year in a row that the students from my school had charged the court, like had stormed the court in celebration after the game.
Yeah.
And I was actually like
We
standing
talked
watching the
about that.
game from like the sidelines, that game, and I went on sort of joined them all on the court. It's like just really cool, like just to
Yeah.
experience that, and sort of feel that closeness to my fellow students from my school, and also celebrate like the players and stuff like that. So that was a really just a fun experience I'll never forget. Third
Oh, yeah.
one. Going back to high school, our senior year actually, we had some good sports moments our senior year because our boys hockey team,
Yeah, there were quite a few. Yeah.
our boys hockey team that year made a run in the tournament as well.
Oh, they got far. Yeah.
Came up a little bit short, but the first tournament game that they played, which I was at, speaking of Milton, it was actually against Milton. Such an intense game. Like it came right down to the wire. We were up by 1 goal with less than a minute to play. Milton scored to tie the game with 0.7 seconds left on the clock in the third period, and then Wellesley won it in overtime. And like just us in the crowd, we were going crazy. The players on the ice were going crazy. It was just such an amazing like atmosphere and celebration. It was just awesome, and I was so happy to be a part of it, especially in our last year in high school. You know, want to leave sort of lasting memories, and we definitely did that with,
Yeah.
with
It's
those
just
games and stuff like that.
it's just a classic battle of Clash of the Titans. You know, it's awesome. I love that. Close games are the best.
By the way, for the record, he wasn't even there, but that's a whole different story.
It's okay. I heard about it.
So now number 4 actually does involve this guy a little bit.
No.
Our senior year in college, our 2 schools actually played against one another in men's basketball.
Yep.
And Kyle and I, it was at Kyle's school, and we actually went to the game together. And
Yeah.
even though his school beat mine, you know, we won't talk about that. I don't know. I
What?
feel like he's
Oh,
not
you
going
don't?
to live that down. But just the fact that we got to like share in that together, you know, being good friends and stuff like that, it's just really cool. And we've been talking about like all 4 years, you know, how cool would it be if our
I know.
schools played each other in some sport. And
Because they never did before, right?
no, that was the first
Never.
time, as far as at least in the time we were there.
Yeah.
I think they might play like each other like volleyball or something like.
Oh yeah, volleyball. We hadn't watched a lot of volleyball in the past, so
But
yeah, it was
just
interesting
to,
seeing
just to have them play
basketball.
like basketball was really cool.
yeah. No offense to volleyball.
No offense to volleyball. No,
Sorry.
not to think about it. I think
No, volleyball's cool. I like
the volleyball is definitely a cool sport. We just actually I've been to some volleyball matches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
I have too. Yeah.
but I think just the timing of those volleyball matches, it's like just on
Yeah.
like weekdays in the fall.
I
and
just
it was
I
like-
never had really a lot of time to go to those anyway.
Yeah,
but,
so it was just a tough
yeah.
tough timing for those. But anyway, so that was pretty cool. And then the last
Yeah.
one is another little twofer, sort of in the same category. There are 2 Thanksgiving football games. As we've told you, we have one of like the biggest Thanksgiving rivalries, Wellesley versus Needham.
Yep.
And two of those games really stick out to me. One is our sophomore year in high school. We won by a touchdown in the final minutes.
That was awesome.
And it was just a tense game. It was snow. There was snow on the ground.
Yeah, it was a sunny day though too. That was
awesome.
I love that. I was on the sideline for that.
And they won, and
man,
two players almost got in a fight. And
all that good stuff.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. And then the game sophomore year in college, after we graduated, was another just sort of epic Wellesley Needham game. Wellesley scored. We're down by 7 points. Scored a touchdown and then got a 2-point conversion to win the game.
Wait, that was my sister's senior year. That's right.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was kick.
Kick butt. Kick butt year.
Kick ASS. I'll spit out for you.
Don't worry. We try to make this a PG show.
I mean, yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But no, those two games were really exciting and really sort of stood out. They were the teams were sort of even record wise. It was just it was intense.
Awesome.
All the Thanksgiving games are great, but those two really stuck out.
And might I point out just a really quick tidbit? It was interesting because the year before, I think the high school's record was 2-9. They just completely 180'd it to 9-2.
No, actually, no.
Didn't they?
No. Oh, the one when we were in college.
When we were freshmen in college.
No, sophomore. Yeah, when we were freshmen in college, they were 2-9.
That was the year before that game that Robbie was talking about.
Yes,
they were 2-9, and then the next year they just completely 180'd it to 9-2.
Right.
Bam.
Yeah.
Just what I meant.
You are correct. But so that's the end of my list. Lots of good, kind of cool going down memory lane.
Yeah,
good times. So now we're going to move on to some March Madness talk. NCAA basketball tournament is starting up, actually going on right now as we speak. And we're going to attempt to make some predictions, some analysis. So the first thing, we've sort of got two parts to this. The first one is... Kyle, I'll start with you. So maybe 2 or 3 teams that you're really keeping your eye on in these next coming weeks as the tournament really gets underway.
Well, guess what? It just so happens I have my handy dandy smartphone. It's actually kind of a dumb phone. The battery's terrible. But anyways, so as I'm saying, so let's see. Well, the ones I'm looking for are Duke. I know Duke's a very good team. They've always been very good over the years. And what's the other one? Oh my goodness, I can't even find the other one that I was looking at. Oh, and teams like Syracuse. Syracuse, that's the other one too. And I think we had a couple friends that went there too at one point, right? Or we might have a friend or two that goes there now too.
Yeah,
so,
I think there are a couple kids at least I know that. Well,
yeah, I'm a little hard for Syracuse as well, so I'd like to see them kind of go up there. But the team I'm really rooting for this year now, these guys are the underdogs, or at least I kind of consider them the underdogs because I realize that they haven't gotten this far in the brackets since 1994. That's 20 years ago if you do the math. And I'm gonna have to give a shout out for PC, Providence College. So I gotta say they've had this year. I've seen what I've watched a game or two of. I've watched a few games of theirs, and I think they really seems like they've really had great chemistry as a team. Coach Cooley, great guy, great
Shout
coach.
out Coach Cooley, former BC assistant coach. Definitely doing good things over at Northeastern. Wow, Providence. There's another former BC coach that coaches at Northeastern, but no.
Okay, at least former.
Ed Cooley. And by the way, if anybody from the BC athletic department is watching this, I'm going to go on a little rant here for a second. Not a rant, but a little plea too. If anybody from the BC athletic department is watching this, I would like to throw my support behind Tommy Amaker for the next BC men's head basketball coach. Steve Donahue was just fired a few days ago. I think Tommy Amaker would be a great fit. He knows the area, done great things over at Harvard these last few years, leading them to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. He knows what it takes in big time NCAA basketball, having coached in Michigan. I think he'd be a great fit. And so, if anybody's watching out there from BC or the BC Athletic Department, this is my one-time plea, not plea, but my one-time statement that I endorse Tommy Amaker as the next BC men's basketball coach.
Nice. Go BC.
Yes, go Eagles. Maybe because they kind of stunk at basketball this year, but they're getting a new coach, so things are looking up.
That's okay.
So for my teams to watch, I got a couple of teams that I sort of keep in mind. University of Virginia, I've got making it to the Final Four.
Nice. He's got a more official bracket there.
Yeah.
That's a little dinky
I actually filled out a bracket.
Yeah.
So Virginia, I think, is capable of making a run. Baylor, Kentucky, and then Arizona, because I have family ties to Arizona. So
there you go.
always gotta show the Wildcats some love.
Nice.
But so now we're gonna move on to attempt to pick a national champion. So I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna say that, drum roll please. My national champion is gonna be out of the Midwest region, the 8th seeded University of Kentucky Wildcats. Yeah, I know 8th seed, but I trust the Wildcats are doing. Coach John Calipari has a proven track record of success. I feel like, looking at their schedule, I feel like they got a really good shot this year. So I got them beating Virginia to win the national championship. You're being second year in a row. A team from Kentucky is winning the national championship because Louisville won last year.
Good stuff.
Kyle, I think I know where you're going with this, but can you throw out a national championship pick? Can you muster one up for us?
Well, I don't know if these guys are realistically going to win, but you know me, I like to root for the underdogs, and I also have family ties to the schools. PC, Providence College. My sister goes there right now, so give a shout out to my sister Allie. And
Shout out Allie.
shout out to Allie. And I just think I'm gonna say I like to root for the underdogs. Like I said, I think they have a chance. They're the team I'm rooting for most right now. So.
For the record, I've got the losing in the first round, but it's okay. You go right out on that ledge. You go. There are some. A lot of times people play it safe with these brackets. You just go for it.
Yep.
You got nothing to lose. So
20 years, I don't know. They could have some. They have some fight in them. That's what I'm saying. They have some good fights. So.
Well, it'll be fun to see. It always is fun this time of year to see who can be the next Cinderella team. And who's going to make that big run. And I think that whoever wins it will be certainly earn it, because the NCAA tournament is never a cakewalk. So, so that's going to do it for us this week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in as always. Whether you're a first-time viewer or you've been with us since day one, we appreciate it. A veteran. We appreciate it as always. So keep tuning in, keep following us, and
don't stalk us, but you can follow us.
Yes, virtually follow us.
Virtually, yeah. Don't actually stalk us. I don't want to see faces peering out of those windows or anything. So
yeah.
No.
So anyway, as always, for Kyle, this is Robbie signing off here for On a Couch Talking Sports. We'll see you next time. Stay classy, world.